Well, the trailer's empty again, so we're gonna get started. Get this thing refilled. I got some wood to split up and everything. I got to move the splitter after all that's done. Getting ready for the next load of logs. But before I do that, I thought you guys might be curious. You know, this is a true triple wall flue system. Probably the most efficient flue system, you know what I mean? At least in my opinion. I'm going to show you. This is what the Creosote looks like coming out of here. All right. Pull this guy off. There she comes. See it? There's what my Creosote comes out looking like. It's pretty clean. So, can you see right there is where it comes from, the wood burner. And then she goes on up. Pretty clean burning setup. This is true triple wall because you got the inner wall right here. Then you got another outer wall, so it's like stainless steel here. Then you got an outer wall here with the insulation in between. And then you have the air gap. So this is true triple wall. A lot of people see the stuff that has just the inner and this piece with the insulation between. A lot of people see that and call it triple wall, and it's not. It's double wall. This is triple wall. So a 6-inch pipe, you end up with a 10-inch outside diameter with this. There she is. That's what she looks like on the inside. Can you see up there? There we go. That should be better. That's what she looks like. And believe it or not, I have yet to brush this flue. I'm finding because of the stainless steel material, it just doesn't stick. And, you know, it's easy to maintain, I'll tell you. It's just ugly on the outside. That's the only thing. Just a little ugly. But other than that, it's like the best flue system, I think, as far as functionality is concerned. You know, I put it on the outside of the flue like this because, well, the other one was bad. I figured, you know, why not have that extra space, that extra insurance policy. Plus, by keeping it on the outside, I didn't have to do any crazy stuff up there through that overhang, you know what I mean? Worked out pretty good. So, I think what we're gonna do here is we're gonna focus on cleaning up this little bit here, that here, and we're gonna split this wood up and just haul it up to the house too, I think. Because, well, I need to get the splitter out of here. We got another tracks of little logs coming. And I need, well, tracks of little logs consumes like a 20-foot by 20-foot square space. And that's where I'd like to put them, you know? In fact, I'm hoping to get one load here and one load there, 2 loads wide. That's what I'm hoping for, but I want the first one here. That way I can still get to the firewood. You know what I mean? But the issue is going to be getting this splitter to start. She's 20, I think between 20 and 25 degrees right now. I don't know. I'll be surprised if this thing starts. We'll go ahead and give it a couple of pulls here. See what happens. You know? Choke her up. Tank's full. Yeah, let's pull on this cord a couple of times. See what happens. I can tell she's stiff. Ooh, we might get her. This is not looking so hot, promising. It's running with the choke cap on. That's what you're seeing. Oh, choke's back. Stay running. I'll turn the choke off. Hopefully it's just that cold. Just leaving the choke on. See what happens here. Alright, now she's going. She just needed to run. We've been sitting out here like this for, what, 6 months without being started? Maybe more. Okay, I'm going to let it run like this for a minute, then I'm going to put it down to idle just to let it, you know, move fluid and warm up because I got to get the tractor started too. Alright, now we got to get this tractor started. Hopefully she takes off. She's been cold. Get the key on here. Make sure we're neutral. Let's see what happens. She's gonna smoke me out. I don't want to have to give her a shot of ether. All right, let's see what she does now. Nope, not quite. All right, we gave her a little bigger shot. I gotta let it run for at least 60 seconds or so. She won't want to move very well until I do. Well, they're both sitting there ready to go. I'm gonna run up here, grab my gloves, and get started. We're just gonna see if we can get that cleaned up. Well, she's all cleaned up. Now I just gotta hook one to that splitter, take it up to the shop, and then I'm gonna take the bucket of the tractor here and just kind of scrape up this bark. That'll be it. Then we'll be ready for logs, you know? Well, I'm gonna call that good enough. She's all scraped down. All the bark's out of there. I hate stepping all over bark. It makes you trip, you know? Rolls your ankles. So I wanted to get it out of there. I'd say we got enough room for a pile of logs now. Let's go ahead and get the tractor put away. I think later this evening we're going to get back to work on Husqvarna 61. There's more firewood work. I still got that oak tree that fell recently. Do it, but I don't feel like doing it today. And it's nothing that needs to be done anytime soon. So this is done. We're ready. When the logs show up, we're good. Now, as far as the splitter is concerned, that's what we gotta fix. She's all been out of shape. I think what I'm gonna do, I don't have the equipment that would straighten out an I-beam like that, you know what I mean? So I think what I'm gonna do is just cut the splitting wedge off and shorten it up, you know, 8 inches, 10 inches or so. This got what, 30 inches of stroke or so, you know what I mean? I think I'll just shorten it down to like 20, maybe 24, and weld it on and then box the end and relocate that leg there. I think that's what we're going to do to fix that. You know what I mean? I could even leave it stick out there and just shorten the wedge up and then box it or stuff. I don't know. We'll see how she goes. But I think that's what I'm going to do, is just cut the wedge off, move it forward, and re-weld it. She's all bent out of shape. I mean, she's been busted 100 times, you know. Bust and weld, bust and weld. And this is just another time on the list. But I'd like to shorten it up to like 20, 24 inch stroke. That way I can change this guy out and put a auto return. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. All right, so we're on the 61 again, and we bought a whole new top end for it. I got the new top end. I'm looking at it, and it looks like we got a 268 top end. I was thinking I ordered a 266 top end, but this is 268. 50 millimeter top end. Transfer design's different. Combustion chambers design's different. Numbers right out of the box aren't bad. It's without a base gasket, it's 102, 133, and 70. I think it was 74 on the intake. But the piston hits the top of the combustion chamber whenever you don't use the base gasket. So technically you could like machine a pop-up into the piston, put it on there without a base gasket, and you'd probably have some decent numbers and decent powerful build, you know what I mean? Not really much work. But the transfer design is different than the original 61 cylinder. So, well, here, let me show you what I'm talking about. So there's the cylinder we're going to use here. Look at the combustion chamber. Everything's nice and centered there. Look at the transfer design, how she kind of scoops in there. And they give it a little bit of a curl from the factory. Now, the original 61 type cylinder, it's open here, and this one's not. And if you look at the case, it's not, the case isn't opened up for that. So whenever you bolt this down, you know, the bottom here would be blocked. So, you know what I mean? This just didn't open it up at all. So we're going to kind of use that to our advantage, I think. A little bit different on the transfer design. It's still an open transfer port. We could go with something else, but I'm completely fine running this. This is what we're going to build. Yeah, I thought I ordered 266 whenever I got the box. It's a Formertech top end, and it says 268 right on her. You know? What else? The intake is different, so I will have to get an intake block for 268. They are definitely different. The original, like 266 style versus a 268, this one's bigger. So I got to make sure I get the right intake block. This one would bolt up to this one, but it would probably have an air leak along the bottom edge. So I need to make sure I get the right one. But other than that, I think what we're going to do is get to work cutting the combustion chamber. And my plan is to do a very slight taper, nothing dramatic, very slight with a pop-up piston. That's my plan. Probably going to take 40, I'm guessing, right around 40 thousandths out of the combustion chamber. So I'm going to work at getting my cutter set up here and make a chamber cut. Hopefully this isn't a really bad plating that I got to go through. Alrighty, well, I've been working at the combustion chamber and piston. There's a little sticky residue on top of the piston from me doing some, you know, sticking my sandpaper to it, but there's the piston. Cut a bit of a cut a bit of a pop-up into it. And if you look, there's just an ever so slight taper to the squish band. Not a lot, just a slight one. And combustion chamber. is looking like this right now. I could go in and do a little more of that though. Just a couple of imperfections. I can't tell, is that focusing? There we go. So a couple more imperfections to deal with there. But I mean, she's pretty much done. She's pretty much there. You know what I mean? So I'm happy with the way it's turning out. I could take more though. I'm leaving a bit of room. I could probably make this pop up almost twice as deep as what it is. And I could take more out of the combustion chamber, you know? So, you know, I'm leaving some there, which I'll probably never go back and get it. I'm probably going to, I don't know. I got a feeling I'm going to be happy with the way this turns out as is. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm going to end this one here tonight. Now, I don't know. I might add more to this video on this, but for tonight, that's where I'm going to be. Now, I should say that we have not worked on any of our race builds in a while, have we? It's been a little while. We do have a new build coming for the racing. 395. It's actually ordered. It just hasn't got here yet. So whenever it gets in, we're going to be looking to build a 395 for the races. That class, you can enter a 395 or a 660 now. And I'm choosing to go with the 395. And we're going to build that as our race build for that class. So that project's going to be starting soon. We got the Partner 5000 or the Husqvarna 50 with a Partner 5000 top end. We got that, you know, covered for the 50cc class. The 65cc class, I got my 036 or my pull-in 445 with a 415 top end to knock it down to 65cc. But I got those two saws I could use for the 65. Now for the next class would be what, 82 and under, which I built that big bore 372. And I'm also building a Dalmar 7900, which I haven't touched that 7900 in a while. We should probably get back onto that project. What else? The next class bigger is, well, I've been running the 385. And the 385 is a bit small for that class. So we are going to go back into the 385 and try to get some more out of it, but it is a little small. This 395 that we are receiving here is actually for the Clone Wars. So it could actually be used in both classes. It could be used in that Clone Wars class, and it could also be used in this, was it 6Q class for the regular classes. So I might dual purpose that saw. But we do have the 385. It's just the 395 is, you know, it's bigger. It should be able to grunt through the wood a little bit faster than the 385, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, that's kind of what we're doing here. The 366, the one we're working on putting on nitromethane, that one we just kind of stalled up because that fuel just, it's a pain in the butt to get going and going good and everything in the winter time. And your tunes, the way you tune in the winter would be pretty drastically different between what we would be tuning for the races and stuff. So I just kind of decided to hold off a little bit on that one. Like the Wild Thing, it's an alcohol build. We kind of paused on that one because of that. But I can tell you it is running on alcohol now. I just need to do a couple of tweaks and it should be good to go. And start converting it to nitromethane. But yeah, for the clones, I got the G366. I got the Bellhopper 372. Eventually, I want to replace it with the 372 that I built. Just because I like to, you know, I'd like to run saws that I built. So I'm probably gonna have to buy another 372. It looks like to build for that class, and I might end up getting two of them. I'm thinking about doing a 372 build to raffle off kind of thing, or yeah, something like that. That way somebody out there could end up with a ported 372, and if, you know, say they don't have a lot of cash on hand or whatever, you know, they might be able to pick it up for 20 bucks. So that's kind of my thoughts there. So we got two 372 builds I want to do. And then for the clone, you know, we got the 395 or the 660. Last year I borrowed a 660, you know. So yeah, we're coming along. But the 395 is coming, and that will be the next build for the races. We are still looking at one more clone class we got to build after that, which is the biggest one. You're allowed to run the Neotech 8120. Is that what it is? It's the, yeah, I think it's the Neotech 8120 or the G888 clone, which is, you know, the Steel 880 clone. You can run either of those in that class, and I have not purchased one of those saws yet to build, so we'll have to see where that adventure takes us. But for now, this is where we're at, and you know, just a quick little video, the 61 project, and you know, kind of where things are going. I think I'm going to work at porting up the 61 tomorrow. So yeah, it should be good to go here. In fact, it'll probably be together and waiting on the new intake this weekend, and probably next weekend then we'll be hopefully testing this saw. Depends though. I got to deal with the ignition because the keyway position is different, and the clutch. We got to change the clutch out. So we'll see if we have one laying around here. I think I do though. I think I do have a clutch that'll work on it. So that's where we're at. Oh, I gotta test these Partner 5000s. I'm gonna race those two Partner 5000s. I got some stuff to do, and I've been so busy at work that I just haven't got into any of it. You know what I mean? I got stuff to do to the Echo 590. I got the muffler here. I got some seals here, and I still have to, you know, build that muffler and put the seals in so we can take it for another test run. So once things kind of quiet down a little bit though, we should be able to get a little more done in here. Now, for those of you who have noticed the hat, yes, I did decide to pick up a hat. I'm not 100% happy with it. It sits a little high on the head. You know what I mean? I like my hats to sit right down tight to the top of my head, and this just, it's a little higher, so I'm not 100% happy with it. This is me kind of trying different things out, different designs or whatever. It's probably going to end up this design. I might choose a different hat, but then I might stay with it. I don't know. I might end up staying with this hat. We'll see how that goes though. But yeah, I'm looking at putting the hats together. The problem is they're going to be expensive. I mean, these are 25 bucks a piece for me to get them. It's not a cheap hat. The actual hat itself is actually a higher quality one then, and you know, it's a little more pricey. And then that is embroidered on there, so you know, the hat, the embroidery and shipping, everything, it cost me like 25 bucks. So for me to sell them, it'd be expensive. So I don't know. We'll see if we get into that venture. I only got two so far, and we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, that's the hat. I'm starting to work on some hat designs. I want to do a hat, a hoodie. I may not do a t-shirt. I don't know. We'll see. But definitely want to do a hat and a hoodie. And hey, we'll see how she goes. Hey, we'll catch you in the next one. Later.